Okay, here we are on slide 7, and I believe this is the last step we're going to do with formulas and calculating things. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and determine the total profit that we made in the Panther Parlor. So I'm going to come back to my document. So basically now we just need to add up the individual profits from each of the items. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put that formula in cell F7. So I'm going to click cell F7. I'm going to show you a different way to do this now. Again, another easier way. Because you could type in your equal sign, and then you could click on each one and then hit the plus sign like so. But imagine if you had like hundreds of rows of data. That would take way too long. So instead of doing it manually, what you're going to do this time is, again, make sure you're clicked on cell F7. And this time you're going to come up here to this guy right here. And you don't need an equal sign for this. I thought that you did, and it messed me up for a minute. So you're going to click on this, and you're going to click sum. Excel is a super, super smart program. So it's going to automatically guess what you want it to do the sum of. And so you just need to double check, is it right? Are we looking for the sum of cell F2 through F6? Yep, F2 is our first one, F6 is our last one, we sure are. We're going to go ahead and hit enter. And now we can quickly and easily see that of the 5 products that we used for this lesson, we had a $305.17 profit. That's pretty sweet. All right, go ahead and save and head back to the slides, or I'll head back to the slides and tell you what I want you to do next. The last thing you guys are going to do for this assignment is you're going to take all of that information that you just added into that spreadsheet, and you're going to beautify it. You're going to make it aesthetically pleasing. So head back over here. The first thing I'm going to have you guys do is add kind of like a title to the data. So over here where it says column 1, go ahead and click that. And you're going to right click. And you're going to hit insert. And notice that it inserted a whole nother row all the way at the top. Awesome. We're going to take, basically what we're going to do is we're going to do what's called merge. We're going to merge cells A1, B1, C1, so on and so forth into one cell. So you're going to go up into A1, you're going to click, and you're going to drag across all the way to F1. So basically all of these cells above the data. And now we're going to merge that into one cell. So still, you're on the home tab here. You're going to come over here to where it says merge in center and go ahead and click that. And notice it just went from a bunch of different cells to one cell. Within that cell, I want you guys to type Panther Parlor profit. There we go. Now, if that is not centered, all you have to do is click on it and then click on your center option right here. Okay. Next up, I want you guys to center all of these titles here of each of the columns. So in this case, I'm just going to click on column 2 because that will select all of column 2. And again, I'm just going to come up here and click center so that now my titles are centered as well. Next, I'm going to have you automatically adjust the width of the column. So for example, see where it says cost here, and you've got extra space on both sides of that, and you have extra space here all the way down with the cost. I don't know why I'm kind of particular about this. I don't like to have that extra space. I like everything nice and tight, both vertically and horizontally, so that the cells squeeze around the data that's in there. So in order to do that, if you come up here to this little space right here, it's the space next to the columns and above the row numbers, and you click that. That is kind of the select all option. So if you select that, that's going to select your entire spreadsheet. So any changes that you make right now will affect your entire spreadsheet. So I am going to come up here. It doesn't matter where you do it, if it's between A and B or B and C or D and C, it doesn't matter. And we're going to hover between, I'm going to go between A and B, hover so that my cursor looks like so, directly on this line right here. And I'm just going to double click. Again, what that did was it automatically adjusted the height, the width of all of my columns so that there is no extra space there. Again, I just think it looks cleaner and nicer that way. Okay, go ahead and save if you haven't saved in a while. I'm gonna hit Control S there and save. A few more things I'm gonna show you. Obviously, for me, the title of my data, I'm gonna probably want that a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna select the cell, and then if you just come right here, this capital A that has the up arrow, that increases font size. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make that a little bit bigger. If you wanted to, you could also change the color of the title. You could add a fill color to that. So again, with it selected, you could come to the little bucket here and add a fill color. So go ahead and increase, for now, your font size there. And then there's one more thing I'm going to show you that I'm going to give you some time to go ahead and pretty up however you want to pretty it up. So I showed you how you could center the titles of each column. Now, and again, you can do this with anything you want. I'm just going to choose one to do it to, just for the sake of showing you. But if you want, so for example, whatever, I'm going to show you just this one. It's number 14. So this cell here, the value 14 is in the bottom right corner of that cell. It doesn't have to be like that. If you click that, again, here are your options here. So notice that it's in the bottom. If you hover over that, see how it says bottom align? Well, I might want it more in the middle. So see how it jumps up a little bit? So maybe it's in the middle vertically, but maybe I also want it in the middle horizontally. So I could select middle, middle, and then my value would then be in the middle of that cell as opposed to the bottom right. I'm actually going to go ahead and do that to, I'm going to click and drag and do that to all of my data. So I've selected it all. I'm going to do middle, middle, and clean that up just a little bit. Okay, so for now, actually I'm going to have you do one last thing and then I'll let you go and pretty it up if you want. The other thing that I like to add that I think makes it look nicer and more easily readable is when you add in borders to the cells. So I could click this up here and select the entire spreadsheet, or I could just click and drag to select my data. And in this case, that's what I'm going to do. I just want to add borders to this. Then you're going to come right up here to this guy. That is your borders command. I'm going to hit the drop down arrow. And for mine, you can see you have different options. You could just have a bottom border. You could just have a top border. I don't know why you would just choose having one or the other. I personally like all borders. So I'm going to click that. And notice now that there are borders around all of the cells. And like I said, I just think that makes it look nicer. All right, so I think we're actually done with my part. Now I want you to go ahead in there and pretty it up, make it more aesthetically pleasing, however you see fit. You could add colors to all of your titles. You could add colors to each of your columns. So like you can make your whole item column one color, your whole cost color one color, so on and so forth. But go ahead and pretty it up as much as you want, and then make sure at the very end you save it by hitting Control S. Actually, go ahead and pause me and do all of that, all the beautification of it, and then come back to me and I will show you how I want you to turn it in. So pause me now. Okay, so something happened and I had to re-record this portion and now I can't see myself. So just hopefully, if you can't see me, no worries. So now we're gonna submit the document. So we're going to go to your Panther Parlor folder if that's in there. It might not be. And then basically you just got to find the assignment. So determining the Panther Parlor, go ahead and click on that to open up the assignment. Now mine looks different than yours. Over here on this side, um, you'll see like a submit button. So that's where you need to click. And then that's going to take you, there should be a pop-up that comes up. And sorry, let me find what I'm looking for. It's a pop-up and it says like uploads and create and something else on it. But there is a icon that looks like this, that guy right there. That's what you're going to click. I think it's next to like the mic or something like that. You're going to click that. That's going to pull up your files menu. And I told you to save it in your OneDrive. So you should be able to go to your OneDrive. And then you should be able to find it in there. Mine is Panther Parlor Profit. So I'm going to click it. I'm going to hit open. You will see it attach. Again, mine's going to look different than yours. You will see it attach, and then you just need to go ahead and hit submit, and that should do it for you. If you need help, make sure to see me. And then that is all for this assignment. Good job, guys. I know that one was really, really hard and really, really long. Maybe not hard, but long. And I know especially this last side was long. So good job.